Hey, what is going on, everyone? Devin Knupp here with another video, and today I have brought you guys a special guest. And so now this special guest, he started about the same time that I did inside of wholesaling real estate. And it took him a little bit longer to do his first deal, which we'll break down inside of here. But once he did that first deal, he went all in and blew it up. And so let me welcome you guys, Austin Deraaf. Welcome, Austin. Welcome to the channel. How's it going, man?
Hey guys, what's going on? Devin, thank you so much for having me on this show. I've been following you for a while, man. This guy brings a ton of value. So I hopefully today we can bring your followers some value and help them get their first deal done if they haven't done a deal already.
Yeah, straight up, man. So Austin reached out to me. He just blew up his business and he felt like he got a lot of value out of my channel. And he really wanted to provide kind of like basically push out more value to you guys, and he felt like the best way we could do it is do like a collaboration of sorts. So inside of here, we're just going to be breaking everything down. We're going to be giving all the gold nuggets away and giving you guys everything that you need to go out there and close a deal. And so Austin, tell me a little bit about you so far, kind of like let's hear about your background first of all, and we'll go from there.
Yeah, so background's pretty rough, man. So I'm originally from Queens. I live about 45 minutes from the city now. When I was in high school, they called me the worst kid in school. By the time I was in 12th grade, I almost didn't graduate from high school. I probably got over 100 attentions in my life. Mostly every single teacher I ever dealt with, or any principal or anything, they said I wouldn't be successful. I've heard countless number of times that I wouldn't be successful, all that stuff. But when I got into college, it got even worse. I was actually kicked out of school when I was a sophomore. Kicked out of school, and then after that, I was recently arrested about 2 years ago. But when I found out about wholesaling, that's kind of when my life changed. And actually, how I found out about wholesaling was my brother, Devin. He actually came one day on my bed, and he dropped a course on my desk. It was actually a Cody Sperber course, The Clever Investor, and it was like how to buy real estate with no money down. And I was like, Jake, what is this? And he was like, this is what we're going to do this summer. He said, we're going to start this business. Because he knew I was always interested in real estate and making money. Like I was always hustling. I was always trying to make some money. But I always knew real estate was kind of the way out and definitely a better lifestyle. Because I saw people who own real estate had a better lifestyle than my parents, than my family, than my friends. So I always wanted to get into real estate. And I always thought, you needed money, you needed credit, you needed a license, you need knowledge, bunch of BS. You can get into real estate with no money down. And hopefully we can provide some value in today's show.
Yeah. So let me get this straight. So you were kind of like, I'm not the best kid in school. You always get in trouble, and you would just constantly hear a lot like, hey, Austin, you're not getting anywhere in life. Like you got bad grades, you're doing dumb crap all the time, and like nobody's going to hire you. And then to make things even worse in the eyes of others is you got into a little bit of a sticky situation. And basically now it was basically limiting your abilities of going into some sort of career where most people are focusing their, like basically everybody's working towards getting into this dream career and working for someone. And you're at the point where like nobody would really hire you at that, like, or like it's going to be very hard to get into working for whatever company that you want. And you've always kind of had the eyes of like having greatness, and you were just waiting for that kind of like that vehicle to get you there, and it was thrown on your bed, huh?
Exactly. Yeah. When I was in high school, I was very committed, but I was committed to sports. I was committed to basketball. So now in business, I channel the same motivation, the same focus, the same high energy I had from basketball and from sports into my business now. So I always had hard work ethic. I always had determination. I always had focus. But in high school, I really didn't, they labeled me ADD, ADHD, all these names, all these things. I just really wasn't focused on the right things, until I really got into real estate. I really didn't see the opportunities out there.
Yeah, and one thing that I've really noticed recently, because once I started creating my YouTube channel, it's just been like a lot of people reaching out to me, a lot of networking lately. And it seems like the most successful people that I talk to, they have like the highest amount of energy that like out of anybody. Like when I jumped on the phone with you for the first time, I was like, holy crap, this guy's high energy. But it like reminded me of like every other person that I've really talked to that's really passionate about what they do. And on top of that, they're like getting results.
Exactly.
And it doesn't sound like they're working any job or anything. It's just like they're extremely excited about what they're talking about and what they're doing.
Exactly.
And I see that from you, and like you don't even have to tell me how much you're making. And I can already tell that if you haven't had results already, you're about to close deals like tomorrow. So, all right. So let's break it down. So you started getting into wholesaling like about a year ago. I think you were saying like September or something like that. And how long did it take you to do your first deal? Like kind of what did it take to do that first deal? Break it down a little bit.
Yeah, great question. So I started about a little over a year, about 14 months ago. I really got into it. And like when I first started, it took me 7 months to get my first deal, roughly about 6 to 7 months to actually convert my first deal. Now that's half a year, so
Most people would give up at that point.
Most people would have gave up at that point. I had thoughts and I had times I'm like, yo, this is crazy. I had self, limiting beliefs. I was like, this is impossible. People won't sell at a discount. But I just wasn't following the right steps. I didn't have the right coach. I didn't have the right mentor. I just wasn't doing the right things. So I think the reason why I didn't get a deal quick enough was, first, I was scared to put out money to market. I thought I was scared the marketing wouldn't work, so I didn't want to put out the dollars to market, So I didn't do enough marketing. And if I did do marketing, I wasn't consistent. So I would put out bandit signs for 2 weeks. I'd be like, let's get a deal done. It wouldn't happen. I'm like, all right, this is BS. Bandit signs don't work. Then I would do 2 weeks of cold calling. No one would answer the phone. I'm like, all right, I can't get a deal this way. Then I would knock some doors. It wouldn't work. So I would try all these different strategies, but I wouldn't stay consistent. So like kind of the number one tip I give people is just whatever marketing strategy you do, just stay consistent with it, because the results have to happen if you stay consistent enough for a long enough time. But yeah, so it took about 7 months to get my first deal done. And it actually happened through a bandit sign. It was through an old lead that I actually followed up with. I followed up for 3-4 months. I would keep following up with her. And then finally, one day, she actually reached out to me first. I would always call her. She would always answer. But then this time, she came to me. So I was, all right, something's up. So then she told me she's getting a divorce, and her husband is going to college in North Carolina. So they're moving, and they need to sell as soon as possible. So when I felt that kind of urgency, I booked the appointment for the next day. And actually, I went in the house. Devin, when I tell you this place had junk, I couldn't even walk. Like, it was like 7 feet high. I'm like, I asked her, I said, you live here? She said, yeah. I said, your kids live here? She was like, yeah. I was like, that's crazy. But yeah, it was crazy. A lot of junk, a lot of garbage, needed obviously work. She owed 180 on the mortgage, and I didn't even know what I was doing. I was all right, I'm going to shoot a 185 offer. I knew the area a little bit. So I knew at 185 I can make some money. So I actually shot her 185 offer. And then I hit it with the fear of loss. I was like, listen, 48 hours. If I don't get a response in 48 hours, I'm going to have to, move on or look at another property. She called me back on like the 49th hour, like the last second. And she was like, all right, we'll do the deal. And then that's kind of when it all started. And that's when I kind of started to believe that, this game's possible.
That's crazy, man. So let's break it down a little bit. We'll dive a little bit deeper inside of this. So you got started, you kind of saw the potential of everything, and you just started trying all of this different stuff. You were taking action. You were trying something out for 2 weeks, not getting results, trying something out for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And it seems like it really fed into like how long that it took you to do this deal.
Yeah.
And like, so when did you start doing the bandit signs? Wasn't that like the first marketing campaign that you did?
I started bandit signs initially right off the bat, but like after like a month, I got the police called to me. I almost got a fine. And I was like, I'm gonna stop this. So I stopped it. And then I started doing a little bit of probate. I wasn't getting results from that for another 2 months, and I stopped it. Then for a month, I would do knock on the doors, stop that, and then I wasn't really fully focused on one marketing strategy, so I didn't see those actual results.
So that lead that came from the bandit sign, was that from the first time that you did the bandit signs?
Yeah, it was probably like the second or third week I did a bandit sign. She called me, but she was not motivated. She wanted full retail. Those people that wanted full retail.
Yeah.
I just kind of put it on the side,
Yeah, the reason why I was asking that is that's what a lot of people don't understand. First of all, is like majority of the deals that we do in this business, like it doesn't happen the first time that you talk to them, first of all. And like you make a very good point about like the consistency in marketing. If you just keep doing it, yeah, you probably ran into issues with like the cops getting upset about your signs and everything. But it wasn't really limiting you from keep moving forward. So it kind of like I can see how it like scared you into moving into a different marketing strategy and everything. But what I really want to break down is like majority, like it's the follow up is where majority of the money is being made.
You got it.
And you may have not fully known this at the time, but since you just kept calling this lady that had this house and it was a lead, after talking to her 3 or 4 times, she keeps thinking, oh, this Austin kid's calling me. Oh, this Austin kid's calling me. Dang it, dude. My phone keeps ringing from Austin. And she sees that you're kind of being persistent. And if you implement that into a grand scale, that's where the majority of the business runs from.
Exactly.
And what I really encourage a lot of people is really, like you said, just keep consistent and then just keep following up. So anyways, you go into this house, it's like ugly. Like I've been in those houses before too. It's nasty, like how people live in there. And so you go inside of there, and what was kind of her like motivating factor? What really motivated her to get rid of the property?
So her kids were living there. Her kids, one of them was like had a disability, so they had to actually move to get this kid in another school out of the state. So they had to do that. Her husband was paying for college, and they didn't have enough money to get him through college, so she needed cash for that. And she was like a month or two behind on her mortgage, and she didn't want to get hit with a foreclosure or pre-foreclosure, so she needed to sell, right away.
Oh, okay. So basically, you just got lucky, and she fell into. Well, it's not necessarily. I'm not saying you're lucky, but like it coincidentally, she jumped it. Like she was
It was
starting to.
perfect time. It was actually I
Yeah,
consider
yeah,
it
yeah.
perfect timing.
But you gave yourself the opportunity to do so by even
Following up.
putting yourself out there and following
Exactly.
up. And so, okay, so now I know you didn't say this yet, but how much was this first deal? How much did you make off of it?
Should have made more. I should have made about 25. The actual buyer tried to screw me. We had it under contract. We had the assignment signed, all that good stuff for 25,000. He was good with it. And then he had to do a final walkthrough, and then he came in there with his contractor again, and he said that it needs too much repairs. And I think he knew what I was. He obviously knew I was wholesaling, and I didn't have the money to buy it, so he used that as his leverage, and he tried to negotiate me down. So at the end of the day, he negotiated me down like 7,500. So I ended up clearing like 18,500, 19,000 around there.
Yeah, $18,500.
Yeah.
That's insane, man. I mean, that's a pretty big size. Like that's life changing money right there.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it was crazy. It was crazy.
Yeah, and I think what's funny though is like $18,000. You don't seem too excited about it, but like it's kind of like what's kind of funny about this business. You're just like, oh, it's just $10,000. Like
Yeah. Yeah.
it's a small deal. I need to go out there and close like 5 more deals now.
Yeah.
So okay, so now you went from $18,500, and then you went and bought a brand new Mercedes Benz, right?
No.
What did you end up doing with that money?
40% went to marketing. So we started up a direct mail campaign from there. The rest of it obviously went to savings and stuff like that. But 40, I think it was like 40, between 40 and 50% right into marketing.
So you reinvested, and then now coming to present day, I think you were telling me you did about $400,000 in assignment fees, and then on top of that, another like additional $175,000 in rehab kind of deals, fix and flip projects that you've been working on as well, which is completely insane. So you go back, what was this, like 8 months ago? Sorry, I'm a little bad at math with months and stuff.
Yeah.
So 8 months ago, he closes his first deal, jumped to today, closing almost $500,000 in assignment fees. So what really transitioned you to this point? Like, how did you just go all of a sudden from one deal, well, from a kid with nothing to one deal to a lot of money?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think the three keys that kind of stuck with me is one, consistency in marketing. Two, if you want to get a lot of deals and a lot of results, you have to spend money on marketing. Like I know people say you can get deals done for cheap, but you got to put out money every single month for marketing. Like you can't spend $10,000 one month and the next 2 months spend nothing. If you want to do marketing, spend it every single month so the leads consistently come in, because leads are like oxygen. So when they stop coming in, you can't breathe. Your business can't grow. So I think the key thing is I kept investing every single month. Even if I wasn't closing deals in the third month, the fourth month, I would keep reinvesting because I wanted to build my pipeline. Because like you're saying, some people might not be ready today, but they'll be ready in 3 months. So if I keep marketing, I'm going to get my pipeline so full that they're always just going to continually come in at different points in time, So that's kind of the big key. The key is what we do a little bit less direct mail, because a little bit where we live a little bit too much to get a deal done, and we do a lot of cold calling now. So I think cold calling is one of the fastest ways to get a deal done, because I can reach you on the phone faster than I can reach Mary at her door every single time. So by cold calling, I'm able to get there first. I'm able to build a rapport with them over the phone, and then if I see motivation, then then I'll go into the appointment and close the deal. But I think cold calling has been a big key for the business, and then just doing it consistently.
Right. So basically, just like you kind of took the lesson that you learned from before, just being consistent with something, and just went all in with it, really.
Yeah, exactly.
And that kind of just like basically you're probably like negative a couple months or even just barely breaking even, and you just kept reinvesting everything and just basically give yourself the ability to build up this fat pipeline of all these different leads, and then just understanding that, hey, I may not close on the like on this lead, all these leads that came in this month, but I know in the next couple months it's going to be like just a huge gold mine of people
Exactly.
that are all of a sudden ready to sell their house. They're already in a position to sell, but they're going to be extremely motivated in the next couple of months to come. And you're just really playing the long game, understanding that,
Exactly.
yeah, maybe every once in a while you find a deal that like you
They're ready to
call
go.
them. Yeah, they're like, all right, come over to my house. I need to get rid of it right now. But majority of the deals, it's like a couple months later, you just keep talking to them, and then they're like, hey, Austin, I got to get rid of it.
Exactly. Yeah. And that's a good point. I think another big tip, just for people out there in general, is the mind. I think I had a mindset shift between 0 and 7 months. I was focusing on how much money can I make.
Yeah.
Now, from 7 months to where I am now, I'm focused on how many people can I help. So, like, I think people can sense if you're going in their house and trying to ask about price and how much they want. When I go in the house, I don't need the deal attitude, because if they can sense I need the deal, they're either going to try to get a higher price, and they might feel like the sales of me, and they might not want to do a deal with me. So when I go in there now, I don't really have a mindset of closing a deal. I have a mindset of, can I help them? And sometimes if their house is brand new, I'll say, listen, my brother's a realtor. I said, listen, maybe we should go the traditional route and put it on the market. I don't think it's going to be for us as a cash offer. So now I'm kind of transitioning to more as a real estate solutions company, where we have the ability to list the property, get full retail for the sellers. If we have to, we'll rehab it. We'll buy it and rehab it and fix it up. We'll wholesale it if it needs a lot of work. And then now I'm starting to get into the creative financing, where we'll wrap the mortgage, or we'll be the sandwich guy and actually rent it out to other families.
Right. Yeah, I remember you telling me about that. That's what's crazy. Is like you have a solution for anyone wanting to sell their house.
That's the play, yeah.
The only thing you really have to do at that point is just build rapport and get them to like you.
Exactly.
And once they like you, you got every solution for them.
Yeah.
So that's what's insane. That's one thing that like I have trouble doing, and I think like it's a little bit far fetched for most people trying to get started, but it's
Exactly, yeah.
really a long game strategy. Honestly, for most people, I feel like you can agree with this, is just get that one deal done. Like
Exactly, yeah.
as everybody saw watching this video, is as soon as Austin did that one deal, he started to like, he kind of believed when he was starting, and he's like, oh, I see all these people getting crazy results. And
Yeah.
then once he did his first deal, he's just like, I'm a believer. Like I physically have a check inside of my hand.
Exactly, yeah. Yeah.
Now I got to go get more of these because I know exactly how I did this, and all you got to do is replicate it.
Exactly, yeah.
And so really majority of people, they just like need to go out there and close the deal. Like,
Yeah.
no matter what it takes, like do whatever it takes. And then once you do that one deal, you just keep reinvesting.
Exactly.
Maybe live at mom's house for like longer and longer. Like who, like,
Whatever you gotta do.
yeah, reinvest everything that you can. Like that's where you'll really turn, not just making $10,000. Like I'm not saying $10,000 isn't a lot of money, but if you ask me or Austin, that's like a good weekend.
Exactly, yeah.
It's yeah, you keep like it becomes less and less of like the mindset really shifts is what I'm really trying to explain. And
Yeah.
so what's your like, okay, so you've just really completely blown this up. What's your advice? If I'm some new guy, I just came across real estate wholesaling, I have no idea what to do. I have no idea. Like all I know is that I can find a discounted property and sell it to more for cash. What do I do? Like how do I go close the deal, Austin?
Great question. So the first thing is, before you can even close a deal, before you can sign a check, before you can even talk to a seller, like you were saying before, you have to believe you can do it. So you have to first fully commit to this business and like to actually doing real estate. Because a lot of people the reason like 95% of wholesalers fail is not because they're not smart enough, not because they don't have enough education, it's because they have a lack of commitment. So the first step is just making that full commitment, saying, hey, look, this is for me, this business is for me, and I'll do whatever it takes. So once you have that whatever it takes mindset, the second thing is understanding that the deal's right around the corner and that there's a deal right now. It's just finding the seller. Now, the best way I think getting your first deal on finding a seller, a couple options. If you're low on money, you can go right to your local courthouse. Right to your courthouse for free. Pull the probate records. Pull the arrest records. Pull the divorce records. Sometimes divorces, they're going to be sealed, but in other places, they're not going to be sealed. They're going to be public records. So divorce records, arrest records, probate records, pre-foreclosures. That's 4 ways for free you can get a deal done. If you get all those lists, there are more than one deal in just those lists alone. Now, if you want to spend a little bit of money on marketing, I'm going to say stick with what's already been working, which is bandit signs. Now, I know even though they are illegal and sometimes they're hard to do and they're hard to keep up, they get deals. They will get deals. If you have the right message, the right color, and the right locations, they will get deals done. And then stick to the other basics, drive for dollars, go around your neighborhood, drive for 30 minutes a day, try to build up like 15, 20 vacants, and then skip trace those leads, call the homeowners, and present yourself as, an asset and a resource to them. And I guarantee you, if you do those simple things, first, make a commitment. 2, go to your local courthouse, try to find some leads from there. 3, put up some bandit signs every single week. And 4, when you have some extra time, just drive around your neighborhoods and look for vacant properties. And if you don't know what a vacant property is, it's like, say you're driving in a nice neighborhood and all the houses are freshly cut grass, the windows are nice, the roofs are nice, everything looks clean. And you see this one crazy house that's overflowing mail, the lawn hasn't been cut, the windows are all messed up, and they might be boarded up. That's what a vacant house is. So what you do is you'll get that vacant, you'll record it, and you'll reach out to the homeowners, you'll skip trace, and you'll give them a call and see if they're looking to sell. But those are kind of the fastest ways, to really get your first deal done, and it's very cheap to do. You don't need to go out there and spend a $10,000 on direct mail or a $10,000 on cold call system. They're right in your backyard, and they're just waiting for you.
So what you're telling me is I don't need to go get contracts right away?
Well, you got to do that, but like I'm saying, you got to first go to your.
Well, yeah, the point. Yeah, I was just joking because I get asked all the time. Hey, boy, I need the contracts. Everybody's worried about the damn contract.
The contracts will come once you have the deal.
On
the lap.
Yeah. What I really wanted to point out was Austin's the most important thing. The only thing he was talking about was find seller leads.
That's it.
That's really all you guys have to do. Just keep finding people that have a house, are wanting to sell it, and then keep following up with them until they're motivated if they're not already motivated. And the rest kind of figures itself out.
Exactly, yeah.
Those finer details, they don't really matter. All that matters is you're talking to sellers. And it doesn't matter if you really sign a deal that day. It's just the lessons you learn first of all. And on top of that, the deal may close next week, next month.
Exactly.
Because people change their mind all the time. All of a sudden, it was just they want to sell retail price, and then they realize, oh crap, I gotta sell it for a discount. So now I'm gonna sell it at a stupid low motivated price. And it's kind of it's the same example of if I were to come up to Austin, I was like, hey Austin, I got this 2018 Lamborghini Aventador. I'm selling it to you for $20,000. Works perfect, nothing wrong with it, brand new. If Austin doesn't have $20,000, he's going to find $20,000 because he knows that's like a $500,000 car.
Yep.
He doesn't care about all the paperwork. He doesn't care about who's going to transfer the title or anything like that. All he's worried about is getting the money together to buy that car. And the same goes for these houses. They don't care about the contracts, anything. All the seller cares about is getting rid of the house. All the buyer cares about is they got a good deal. And once you understand that, that is really the basis of this business. That's all that really matters.
Exactly. You got it.
So anyways, okay. So, we've kind of broken everything down inside of here. I figured I'd bring Austin on for everybody to kind of just bring a different kind of perspective. I know maybe you guys get tired of hearing my voice every day or something, but and I figured Austin had some great value to provide inside of here because he really just kind of blew up. And so if anybody has any questions for you, Austin, they want to reach out to you, they want to connect with you, follow your story, where can they find you at?
I'll send you my Instagram, my Facebook. You guys can put the link below. Reach out to me on Facebook. Any way I can help you guys, send me a DM, send me a message on Facebook, and I'd love to help you guys.
Yeah, so we'll put his links down in the description, and you guys can just reach out to him and feel free to ask him questions, and you'll hopefully be able to answer them for you guys. But yeah, it was a pleasure having you on, Austin. And what's one final if you were to give advice to a beginner, what is one sentence of advice that you would want to leave with?
Never give up, man. Like I'm saying, the deal's really legit right around the corner. Your first deal could be 10 grand or it could be 100 grand. So if 10 grand is not going to make a difference, I bet you 100 grand will. And in every neighborhood, every market, every zip code, there are deals right now waiting for you. It's just like you said, getting in contact with the sellers, finding the right leads, and just building rapport, following up, and just sticking to the system that already works. But anybody can do this business. Trust me. If I can do it, I'm telling you, anybody can do it. It's not even a joke.
Oh yeah, one more thing. How old are you, Austin?
I just turned 21.
21. So if anybody's
I
thinking,
look 15, but I'm 21. So
yeah, even better. You looks 15. Well, I just want to point that out because a lot of people think they're too young as well. So,
exactly.
anyways,
Yeah.
thank you so much, Austin. Thanks for let me have you on the channel here and everything.
No
Make sure
problem.
you guys reach out to him down below in the description. And if you guys have any comments, questions, concerns, drop them down below. Thank you guys all for watching today's video. And like always, I'll be seeing you all tomorrow. Peace.
Thanks, Devin.